Have you ever considered that money could be a flowing spiritual energy? And what if understanding this could actually transform your financial reality to the place where you're able to create the kind of freedom, fulfillment, and flow for you to live your best life? That's what we're discussing today. And if you're new here, my name is Makosi. I'm also known as the Royal Shaman. And I am an initiated shaman who has, over the past 5 years, mentored some of the most incredible leaders, trailblazers, particularly in the business space. And the reason that I'm able to do that is I blend ancient wisdom applied to modern life. And so today we're going to be diving into understanding the concept of money as a spiritual energy that moves through our lives. Okay? Because most of us just see money as a tangible thing, right? And we have very 3D views about what we have to do in order to make money. However, there is an unseen, mysterious spiritual aspect to money. And when we understand this, we have not only a better relationship, but we also expand our capacity. So let's start with what are some of the traditional beliefs or views that you have around money? You've probably heard things like you've got to save, right? Don't overspend. Make sure you don't have that $5 Starbucks because then you're not going to be able to afford a home. I think if you are under the age of 50, then you probably know that that's not the case. There's no amount of $5 coffees that you can withhold from yourself that's going to have really any major dent on your ability to buy a home. So some of these views of money are outdated. They just don't apply anymore. And the truth is that when you understand the spiritual aspect of money, then you can understand whatever context you're in, whatever time frame that you're in. The other thing about the traditional views on money is that so much of the focus is on materialism. It's on accumulation and getting as much money as you can. I personally think that we're in a time where people are changing their views on what money's really for. We're moving to a time where we're starting to see money as a tool that we can use for freedom to experience more of life, to be able to really be present with our loved ones, to be able to invest time and energy in the things that bring us joy, like hobbies and various activities. We also see this money as a way that we can travel in ease versus the mayhem that's been happening recently with the airlines. We are really starting to see, if we have a different relationship with money, that it can actually open up doors for us to experience more culture, right? Travel around the world, experience rest and rejuvenation. Now, I'm not going to tell you that this is the most popular conversation because most people do not believe that spirituality and wealth can go in the same sentence. There's certain perception that wealthy people are greedy. Now, I'm also not going to gaslight you into thinking that there are not some wealthy people who are very focused on this constant accumulation. And I can tell you from a spiritual perspective, many of them actually are not abundant. Many of them are experiencing trying to fill a void with something externally. And as we can see, there's no amount of money that can solve that. However, multiple things can be true. And what I stand for is more conscious people having an overflow of abundance. Because right now, what's really wrong in the world is that we have a whole lot of people who just simply are not aware to a certain degree. And those people, because of the ability for money to be a tool, they have accumulated the ability to influence our government, our systems, our ability to move in between places. And that's not really good for anyone. Ultimately, it is we all are better served when more people have financial abundance and have financial freedom, because they're able to then vote for a reality that we all want to be a part of with that money. So we've got to shift our relationship and start to see that money is a currency that flows through our life. And our experience of money reflects our mindset, but more importantly, even deeper than that, it actually reflects our self-concept. It reflects our identity, how we see ourselves, and what we believe about the world. We actually use money and receive money through our lens of value. So let's dive into some of the key shifts that you need to make in order to change your relationship with money. First, you need to see that money is just a symbol of energetic exchange. So money is not just paper or numbers on your phone screen when you go to check your bank account. It is actually an exchange of energy. So when we offer value to another person, we receive this energy in return. And this creates a cycle of abundance. There's not a limited amount of times that money can be exchanged. So even if we see that, okay, maybe money itself, there's only so many dollars or so many euros at any given time, but those can be exchanged into different hands basically an infinite number of times. If we're talking about digital, right? If we're talking about paper, then yeah, eventually it's going to fall apart. But the point is that every time we exchange energy, every time we provide perceived value to another person, we receive money. So whenever you are experiencing any restriction or plateau in your finances, the question is not just like, how do I get more? The question is, how can I create more value? And that can be either in your own business, but that can also be in the marketplace. That can be for a specific company. That can be through opening up things on the side, et cetera, et cetera. Once you really ground this in, I share with my clients all the time that I literally can see money just driving down the street, because you can train your mindset to start looking for, where can I create value? Now, the next thing that you want to understand is really like, what is the impact of your mindset on your financial abundance? Like I said before, your beliefs and your mindset around money is shaping your financial reality. So if you believe that money is scarce, that it is limited, that you're broke, that that there's not enough for everyone, this influences how you are able to receive money. If you're able to shift your mindset around money into one where you see money as a tool, as an expression of value that simply magnifies, it simply magnifies what already exists. Okay. So start paying attention to, what are the automatic thoughts that start coming up whenever you are in an experience with money or one of the byproducts of it. Look at how you think about someone who displays wealth. Look at how you think about someone who doesn't have wealth, right? All of these things give us clues about our beliefs, but more importantly, our beliefs are an extension of how we see ourselves. Last but not least, you want to understand the relationship between giving and receiving. Now, we are holistic beings, and who we are in one area also affects who we are in other areas. So I can do a very quick test. I can tell you your relationship with money very easily just by asking you, how do you receive a compliment? How do you receive a compliment? If you automatically deflect, if you feel very uncomfortable receiving a compliment, these are giving you clues that you might be struggling with the receiving end. If you notice a pattern where you are constantly giving, over giving, but you really struggle to receive support, to allow someone else to do the dishes while you rest, to pay you, for someone to pay you for your insight or gift you something. Understand that that giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin, and you need to be able to do both in order to experience the flow of money and not feel that restriction. I'm going to give you a little bonus that just popped in my head as well. The other thing that we need to transform about our relationship with money is understanding that it is designed to flow. It is designed to move in and out. And our role, our job, is to expand our capacity to allow it to move through. So one person may have the capacity for $100,000, and that's kind of like their max that can come in and can go out. Notice what I just said there. You have to also be comfortable with it going out. And so much of the inner work is around expanding your ability to allow yourself to receive more and also to give more, to release more. And this doesn't mean that you need to be in this like frantic roller coaster, constantly having none and then having an overabundance and then quickly getting rid of it. We want to create a stable, peaceful relationship where there is a more than enough coming in, right? And that there is an overflow there for you to allow to go out. So I'm super curious about some of your questions around money. What are some of the beliefs that you've had around money? And what shifts do you know that need to change? I tend to attract people who are very much the chain breakers in their family. And I will just share with you that there are certain, there's a lot of skepticism. There can be a lot of criticism when you are the person who has decided to take the responsibility to create wealth for yourself and also for others. And how you navigate changing your relationship and changing how you see money ultimately is what will create the behaviors that allow for you to create wealth. So, with all of that said, I encourage you to take my consciousness quiz. You can find that in the description below. And this is going to give you some insight about your level of consciousness. And this level of consciousness directly affects how you relate to money, because money is one aspect of reality. So I'd love to hear from you over on Instagram in the DMs. What shift broke through for you today? and I will see you next time.